Parsnip Training Tutorials. Parsnip Back End.
Welcome. In this video, you will learn how to generate the parser and then test the parser. The first step is to unzip the Parsnip files from the front end. If you wrote your files directly in Parsnip Intermediate language, you may skip this step. You can unzip the files to any location, although the home directory is commonly used. Type unzip, then your file name, typically parsnip.zip, and hit enter. A unique ID is generated. This unique ID is important because it is part of the path to the extracted intermediate language files. Copy the full path to the unzipped Parsnip files, including the new unique ID. Navigate to the Parsnip backend by navigating the directory containing the Parsnip code. Type cd parsnip/backend/ then enter. Before running the next command, ensure you have all the requirements installed. These are RustWorks, Matplotlib, PyGraphviz, and PyDot. Now, run the command with the main.py and paste the path to the unzipped Parsnip files, then indicate which folder should store the output. In this example, we want it to output to the current directory in a folder called output. You can confirm Parsnip outputs correctly by looking at the specified output folder. Notice the analyzer, scripts, testing, and CMake directories, which are all there and necessary to install and run your package.
Before testing, ensure the packet capture you will use to test is in the output folder from the previous step. We also need to make sure the testing scripts files are executable first. Parsnip does not automatically give these files executable permissions. This is a known limitation, and further information can be found in the Parsnip documentation. We'll use chmod +x./testing/scripts/* to add executable permissions to everything in the testing scripts directory. If you are installing using CMake rather than ZKG, you can skip the following steps as you don't need a Git repository. Next, let's make sure this is a Git repository by running git init. Now, we'll add everything in the directory with git add dot, followed by committing everything with a git commit command. In our example, I am setting the commit message to initial commit. If you haven't already defined your name and email, it might ask you to do that as part of the git commit process. Whether you are installing the parser using CMake or Git, using a Docker or Podman development container is a fast way to test the generated parser. Using Podman, I will mount the current directory into my testing container. In our example, we will use the -v command to mount the current directory into the Podman container at the misimple protocol path. Refer to Docker and Podman documentation for more information on mounting a volume. I am using Guerrero Zeek latest, which is just the latest build of Zeek. Any Zeek Docker or Podman container will work. Inside the Docker container, let's move into the my simple protocol directory. Then, run zkg install. To install our local directory as a package. See CMake documentation for instructions on how to run CMake. Parsnip-generated plugins compiles the same way other CMake libraries compile. ZKG will run the unit test to confirm the installation.
Now let's go to our testing/traces directory where we put our pcap file. To test it, we'll use Zeek -C r. My simple protocol.pcapng local. It is important to indicate local Zeek configuration if you used ZKG to upload it. When you install something via ZKG, it's a package and not automatically loaded by Zeek unless explicitly stated in the configuration file. Let's run ls to see the generated logs. We should see something like my simple protocol_general_log.log or my simple protocol_general.log. Check the logs to ensure they match the expected output from the parser. We've successfully walked through the entire parser setup from start to finish. This concludes the tutorial on handling and testing Parsnip backend. For more resources, please see the description below. Thank you for watching.